The Leeshan scenic area is bisected by the Central Cross Island Highway and the Dajia River. It is blessed with an abundance of ecological landscapes and natural resources, and with a climate that clearly delineates the four seasons. It is no wonder that Lishan has become a favorite vacation spot in central Taiwan. Just how beautiful is this little Switzerland? Come with us as we look for the answer. Lishan can be reached by Provincial Highway 7A from Yilan, or by Provincial Highway 8 from Hualien in the east, or Dongshi in Taichung County from the west. If we start from Dongshi, we wind our way along the Central Cross Island Highway, through high mountains and past river valleys. Suddenly, we see the valley open up, and before us rises a grand gateway. We have arrived at our first stop, Guguan. Here we can walk over the suspension bridge and hike onto the kilometer-long Shaolai Trail, a new ecological pathway developed by the Tri-Mountain National Scenic Area Administration. At the top of this stone slab trail is a lookout pavilion that affords a panoramic view of the enchanting surroundings. The well-preserved forest along the trail makes this an ecological haven. If your hike has tired you out, you will need to relax in the famous hot springs of Guguan. A soak in this crystal-clear, odorless mineral water is a must for every visitor to this area. The abundant hot spring resources will soon be joined by a new park and even a hot spring culture hall, making Guguan into an outstanding hot spring resort. Leaving Guguan, we traveled eastward up the Central Cross Island Highway and soon arrive at Deji Reservoir, green as an emerald. A portion of the highway is now impassable, however, because of earthquake damage. The reservoir's main dam is in the shape of double-curved arches. At the end of the dam, water spouts out of a mountainside inlet like a foaming waterfall. The beauty of the reservoir's green water is reinforced by verdant mountains and white stone. Occasional mists add a sense of mystery to the scene. The next stop along the highway is Lishan. Perched at 2,000 meters amidst even higher peaks. Across a vast valley, Snow Mountain, Taiwan's second highest peak, tops the layers of majestic ridges that reach as far as the eye can see. The moderate climate here nourishes flowers that provide a riot of color all year round. This spot, with its profusion of colors, was once the site of a small and isolated Aborigine village. After the Central Cross Island Highway was completed, however, it became a hub of transportation across the center of the island. The most eye-catching structure here is the beautiful Leeshan guest house, built in the traditional style of a Chinese palace with yellow tiles and red columns. The visitor center beside the guest house offers all the tourist information you need. The ecological trail that starts behind the guest house provides a fine opportunity for the whole family to observe the wonders of nature. The forest here also has a powerful attraction for all kinds of birds that come here to nest and forage. After the Cross Island Highway was completed in 1960, Army veterans and native residents worked together to develop Leeshan, and the primeval forest was transformed into today's spectacular tourist destination. You can learn more about the history of this development in the Lishan Culture Museum. Perched on mountain slopes about 5 kilometers from Lishan is the large Fushoshan farm. As we enter the farm, we see cryptomeria trees lining both sides of the road. As we proceed onward, we discover the high-altitude vegetables and the dozen or so temperate fruits that are produced here. On hillsides draped in veils of mist grow the farm's most famous product, Fusho evergreen tea. The farm also encompasses a number of scenic spots that have become favorites with visitors. The fresh, crisp night air, unpolluted by artificial lighting, makes Fushoshan a perfect place for viewing the stars. When you come, don't forget your date with these twinkling heavenly bodies. As the warming sunlight spreads over the farm in the early morning, you can stroll along Tianchi Trail and enjoy the fragrance of the cryptomeria and other trees that border the pathway. After cutting through the farm, this 7-kilometer trail ends up at Tianchi, Heavenly Pond. The late President Chiang Kai-shek felt that this natural spring-fed pond gave Tianchi good feng shui, and he had the Daguan Pavilion built here. The lookout platform beside the pond affords fine views of Mount Hehuan, Snow Mountain, and other surrounding peaks. We leave Lishan going north on Highway 7A. Along the way we see Attila villages scattered on mountain plateaus like settlements isolated from the world. The indigenous Attila tribespeople once lived by hunting, and they themselves wove the clothes they wore. In fact, weaving, along with facial tattooing, is one of the two most representative characteristics of this tribe. Weaving was an essential skill in the old days, and the woven products exhibit complicated coloring as well as soft but resilient quality. Tattooing the face marked the passage into adulthood.